So I was just talking to Dean about digitally collecting the EMNC and making playlists of my channel. And maybe after I'm gone, maybe you will. Maybe now that I'm gonna be, you know, getting the hell out of here, because I'm gonna be losing my internet. This is the third video I've mentioned this in. I'm gonna be losing my internet, and I'm gonna be losing my housing. I'm gonna be moving out of my family's home, and most likely what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be living in my car for a while. And I don't know how long that's going to go on for. I'm trying to stay in the local area near my kids so I can still participate in raising my kids. But my wife and I I just cannot keep watching the things that she does. It's just too much. I don't want to keep seeing it every day, you know. Um, Liar, just like everybody else, bunch of fucking liars. But everybody else that in my family that I explained before, I already don't talk to and I don't deal with them as well. So if I had to right now be forced to live with my parents or only my father's alive, but if I was forced to live with him, it would be the same way I'd feel about my wife. It's just that we have nothing in common. We have nothing to talk about. They go along with every fucking lie they were ever heard, learned, thought, taught, programmed. And if I don't include myself in those lies and I don't go along with them, then I'm an outcast. I'm looked down upon. So I'm not going to keep doing that to myself. And I'm going to find that no matter where I go. It's not like I can make new friends who have a different mindset. That's not the way this goes. There is no new friend that has the same mindset. Now, granted, I do make new friends, but they're social friends. They're not deep friends that are gonna be able to conversate with me about these things that I'm conversating with the camera about, right? They're just people that I know, people that I meet. They may like me all the way up until I say something. And then when I open my mouth, then it's pretty much all over from there. Um, you know, in their anger, it's funny to watch where their anger comes from because their anger comes from not being able to admit reality, not being able to come around to reality. They insist on believing in outer space. They insist on believing in all the religions, whatever one it might be, depending on which friend or person we're talking about. They insist on believing the medical industry is there to help us. They insist on the food culture and food itself is what we were told it is when it's not. They insist on refusing the mirror neuron manipulator and knowing very little about the mirror neuron itself. And so they're definitely not going to understand the mirror neuron manipulator. They refuse to listen and go look for themselves at the Metellus, which accounts for everything that we've ever heard, learned, thought, taught, programmed as sickness and ailment. So everything that, and I mean everything, including aging, wrinkles and aging and everything. The Metellus has to do with all that. And I can't get none of that through to anybody. I can't even get them to look at the fucking True Creator's work. So then I'm showing you the True Creator's work right now in the clouds. You can all go look. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast phases only. Everyone can go look. It's okay. Nothing's gonna happen to you for looking, and nothing's gonna happen to you for admitting that you look. For that matter, at least not yet. They haven't got that set up yet. Um, but it's very lonely. It's very fucking lonely. There's no one else is gonna want to. I have friends that are businessmen and businesswomen, and um, they consider that to be successful. I have other friends who, because it comes with money, and they can go on long vacations and they can do things because they believe in the monetary system. They can hold the money in their hand and spend it. So when you start telling them about digital currency and that we're all going to be slaves to these cell phones and all this kind of shit, they know it. They know it. They don't even deny it. But yet, in the same breath, they tell me that what I'm showing them is, you know, not what they can see. It's not what we can see with our own eyes. No, no, it's all these other things. It's fucking weird, man. So to watch it all happen and be the only one or one of the very few who's actually admits to seeing it, then that becomes very fucking lonely. So my wife is doing her own thing. She has been for some years. To to not get into details too much about it because it's personal shit, and I don't. It's not what I'm about. I'm not complaining about it. It's just the way it is. Um, but I just want to point it out. I'm not in a situation and to be able to even be making these videos now, but I still do it. It's not like when I got the camera out in the yard, I've got 10, 15 neighbors that all look at me funny and think that I'm nuts because I do videos of the moon, the clouds. They'll see me walk up to a rock. And this goes for everywhere that I go. It's like that. Everywhere I go. I always like that. That's the way everybody looks at it. So even here, I'm here in the park right now because I left the job to come over here to do this. But the thing is anybody comes along and walks by me, then they're going to who knows what to do? Call the cops, have a bad opinion of me and what I'm doing, and everything. So I have to let it all roll. I have to let it all roll off. And but if one of the main reasons why I stay, in the house with my wife, even though we're not getting along, is because that's where my life has been for all these years. But I've already felt for many years now, 7, 8 years at least, since finding the true creator, I can feel it. It's just, no, man, I don't want to do this anymore. And obviously, neither does she. And she moved on with others, and just I could put it that way, I guess. She has moved on with others and into intimacy with others where I have not. I have stayed celibate, not 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 loyal, not loyal, just celibate, because it has nothing to do with loyalty. It just has to do with celibacy and not wanting to be confused by bullshit, Because the thing is let's say I'm already thinking about it and contemplating it when I do go on dating. She has no problem going on and moving on and dating other people because they're all fucking liars. So they all lie to each other and then they feel good about themselves for all their lies. But when you're going to stop the lying bullshit, what woman am I going to fucking meet who doesn't have a lying tongue? Every one of them. They all do. 7.8 billion. It's not just the women, but I just happen to prefer women over any other fucking species that's out there. I know we're offered a whole plethora of all kinds of semi females and semi whatever the fuck it is. Again, can't talk about it because the YouTube gods will get me. But what a total fuck show, man. So I already know that. I already know because I meet people that I like and I meet women that I like and I think are nice and I find them attractive and everything like that. But then in the back of my mind, I'll throw a little bit at them, just the same way I'm testing you, Dean. The same way I'm testing you to see who you really are. I'll do that with any woman that I might like or meet and think that they're a nice person. And then as soon as I start feeling them out, I'm like, oh my God, fucking another zombie slave, man. They're all fucking zombie slaves. There's going to be no way to awakening anyone. Even if I'm able to have a conversation and all of a sudden I'll hit on one topic and they'll be like going along with it and understanding a little bit about it, the geopolitics or the World Economic Forum or something like that. Because the other day there was a girl at a place that was talking about that. And once I got into talking, I could see she was very attracted, maybe not to my appearance and my looks, but she was attracted to my mind. She liked the way my mind was working. So I tested it. And as soon as I start rolling on to the true creator's work being all around us and a little bit, and I only gave her little dibbles and dabbles of reality. And I could tell it's a fucking huge turnoff. People don't want to leave their make believe mindset because they think that because they can touch it. They think that because they can touch it, it must be real. You know, I can go over and touch that tree, so that tree is real. Well, yeah, okay, in that sense, yeah, we don't live in a hologram. There was a dude the other day that was commenting me and asking me that. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I ain't fucking selling no hologram bullshit. I'm not selling no hallucination bullshit or outer space nonsense or geocentric nonsense or religious bullshit or anything. I'm telling you, no, that was all a lie. Those were all lies that was purposely set up, were purposely set up for us so that when we did come out and see the true creator's work, that's where our mind would immediately go. They don't want our minds going to reality. It took some time. I think what helped me was seeing these other things. And that's why I was suggesting to you, Dean, to follow my lead, but you chose not to follow my lead. You're still choosing to not follow my lead. The reason why I'm leading you in these directions, in a specific directions with everything I'm asking of you to do, is for a reason. So when you come to me and ask me questions about using the true creator's energy to communicate, for example, that's you can't ask that anymore because I've already answered that. And then I told you where the answers were, and you decided not to go look. So if you're not going to go look and see the answers, for example, that question alone, I would refer you to the seeing the builders. I would want you to see the builders for yourself rather than just me saying, do you see all the builders? Do you see them all? No, no, no. We need to remaster the videos. That's why I wanted you to get videos of your clouds over your head so that it would become a reality for you. Because right now it's just some douchebag on YouTube showing you some cloud videos, right? That's why I wanted you to go to your trees and videos your trees so that I could remaster them with you and show you that you can see it for yourself. I'll show you how to do that, and I'll show you the builders. And then once I'm showing you the builders, you'll understand them. Then that's where the answers will come to you. That's how the answers are going to come. Visually, you look, the answers will come. If you're waiting on human tongue to keep lying to you over and over and over again, then how are you ever supposed to learn more than even I know? Because even I know that trick, and I still count everything that comes off of my lips and tongue as a lie. Even know, because I know that everything is a lie. We cannot help ourselves. We're human beings. We've known nothing else other than lies all our lives. So even as I'm explaining to you truth and reality, I'm warning all of you, and especially you, Dean. I'm trying to warn you. Okay, I'm going to talk to you. We're going to conversate, but do not believe anything that comes off of my lips. The belief and the evidence does not come until you see shit for yourselves. Once you're seeing it for yourselves, that's when you'll understand reality. That's when you'll understand everything. And then I know for a fact, it's not even hoping. I know for a fact when that day comes and others are seeing it on their own, they will come to me and tell me shit, not shit um, that they learned in school, not shit that they learned from a YouTube channel, but shit that they can see with their own fucking eyes. And then when they tell me that truth and they tell me that reality, because I know what I know, I'm not going to believe them. But I will do is I will take it, their word enough to go look for myself. And then when I go look for myself, let's say, for example, somebody comes to me and says, oh, Mike, if you look in this area here, let's say I'll make one up because I've already done all these, so I'll just make one. Let's say you break a rock in half. You take any stone you want, you break it in half 7 times. After you split it 7 times, any stone you want, and you plaster it in red paint, and then and I didn't try all these things. What I'm saying is try different methods. I'm just trying to make up a new method in my mind right now. I'm just making this up, right? But I've done similar things to this. Like you can look in the middle of a stone. You can break a stone in half, and that's how you prove to yourself that the true creator does not see things as up, down, left, right, backward, forward, in or out. How do we know that? Because everywhere you look, the true creator doesn't see things as up, down, backward, forward, left, right, in and out. So people to be able to understand that words coming out of, off of a lying tongue, they need to see it for themselves. Same thing with breaking a stone in half. That's the in and out. That's the in and out of things when I'm trying to give that example. So what do? I go down to the river. I find a nice stone. I break it in half. I may bitch a little bit at the fact that I had to take a stone from home because if I got caught taking a stone from the river and breaking it in half, that could be a 10-year sentence. I might bitch about all the zombieism that goes on around me as I'm doing these things, but still, it's, it's the same fucking thing. So, let me go over here for a few minutes. No. Okay. Come on, bitch. No, that ain't gonna work either. I never did find a good place to hang this. No, that's just gonna fall down. That's gonna rip. That's gonna rip. I guess so. Probably coming for me. Some guy down at the park taking pictures of the clouds. I don't know, man. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to explain. I know that right now I'm not picking up a lot in the camera. It's probably due to the red filter because of the type of day that it is. So I need to keep moving the camera in order to pick up my lights and shadows because you have a long time area, minutes at a time, and then plus the camera keeps fucking moving on me. That ain't making it much easier either. I could, yeah. So in other words, it'd be a lot of glare, more glare um, than you'll see anything. That's why I got to keep moving the camera around. I do have a brown filter with me too. I could go throw on the camera. So everything that I've been hoping so badly that someone else would come along, somebody that has the at least money, if not um, the fame. If they don't have the fame of hundreds of thousands or millions of viewers and subscribers, that would be required to really get this out to everybody in a doable time, to where we could save everything from continuing on. I won't say get worse, because the truth is they've been bad all along. We've just ignored how bad everything was. That's all. That's all it was. Everything has always been bad. Nothing has changed. So anybody that's out there complaining about the economy or the medical industry or the food industry or the religions or the science or all the fakery and all the lies, it didn't happen in the last year. Didn't happen in the last 3 to 5 years. Didn't happen in the last 20 years. It's been all along. You're talking 10,000 years. So as far back as I care to fucking even think about, then it's always been happening. You can see it. You'll be able to see what I'm saying. Once you're using the true creator's energy to move around in, you have no problem understanding all the shit that comes out of my mouth. Yeah, see, I got to keep moving it to catch my shadows and hold the fucking camera, which I don't like doing. I don't like doing it. It's not a laziness. It's a matter of I already did that for the first 4 years. I was talking to the camera all the time and trying to explain things to everyone, and I realized it's just useless. I might as well just throw the fucking camera out there if they can't see it. Especially as I was able to see things more and more clearly, then that part got easier as well. I look up with my eyes, I see it. So therefore, once I see it with my eyes, I know where to aim the camera. So I aim the camera up, no one sees it. No one, they're going to pretend. Let me rephrase that. They pretend that they don't see it. So I say, okay, well, there's something going on. Another year clicks by, whatever. I start using filters because I noticed one day using a filter to get rid of glare and sunshine and all that. And all of a sudden I can see it better. And I noticed other people started claiming they could see it. And I was like, oh, okay, so I may be onto something here. And then another year or two clicks by, and then I start tripling filters. Now and thinking to myself, okay, so this is working. Now they can definitely see it. They can't even deny it. Well, sure the fuck they do. They deny it. They instead come in and say, cool clouds, man. Cool clouds. Cool cloud art, man. I like the cloud art that you're doing. Cloud art, okay. Or photographers, coming in and saying, hey, cool filters, man. No, they're not cool filters. Actually, these filters suck. These filters that I'm using, you're talking about glass bottles that are not made to be lens filters. They're not made for it. They have so many impurities, it's ridiculous. You lose so much of the true creator's imagery by using one of those bottles, but it seemed to be working because my YouTube channel picked up. So if I had all those extra subscribers, I can't just assume that it's a YouTube fuck show. I have to try at least and say, all right, maybe they're seeing it. Let's try to go to some of these bottles. So I started using glass filters. Plastic filters, the one I got on there right now is plastic. They suck. They give off a lot of glare because they're plastic. They scratch easy. Therefore, there's imperfections in them and impurities in them that will block you from being able to see things for yourself. The best lens to use on seeing the true creator's work are your eyes. In your eyes, the only thing that sucks is that you can't zoom in and out. But otherwise, the clarity, and then also you seem to be needing some contrast. You need to have some color contrast. And it seems to me that now, after doing this a while, that everybody's eyes contrast differently. So some people will see purples and greens differently. So therefore, those shadows and lights that come in when I'm doing these videos, different people will perceive them in different ways. It's still all seeing feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. That's not ever denied. The denial becomes um, that it means anything, you know, because it's a really big deal that the imagery is only feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast faces only. And the fact that we can prove that to ourselves is a really big fucking deal because um, it tells you everything that you want to know, right? That's why it's a big deal because it tells you everything that all the questions are answered by looking. And when you see that it's feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, you don't have to take my word on why that is. You'll know why that is. You will have a knowing, not an understanding of a false belief. Another one, you know. And granted, they can tell some truths in the Bibles and in the religious books and shit like that. They will tell you a few truths. But what good is one or two little truths when they're combined with any lie at all? Never mind thousands of lies. It just makes that one truth nothing. It doesn't make it a truth. It makes it a non truth at that point. You have to go back to the beginning, keep piling up all the truths. And where are you going to find the truth? All around you. You got to see it with your eyes. You got to see it with your own fucking eyes. Let's see how many minutes are left. I guess I could grab from the trees. So I'm just gonna grab from the trees for the last couple minutes. Let's see. Get some light bouncing off these trees over here. Light coming down through the trees over there. Try not to shake too much. I don't have nothing to hang the camera on. I can see it all. I see it all. So feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. Notice the triangular builders that are all around us, building everything you see in this camera's frame right now. can see them all. You can see the builders. The wind is not blowing, so the leaves are staying still. A little bit of shimmering here and there from animals running through the trees, but otherwise, no interference there. Bugs. When you go to the moon, it's feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast faces only. When you go to the trees, it's feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast faces only. When you go, and it's always the triangular builders building everything. When you go to the waters, whether it's the river, the lake, the oceans, whatever, wherever the current is coming from, with or without current, it will still be feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast over and over. I used to do ice. I used to make ice, but again, ice, a human freezing it. I didn't like doing that. Frozen puddles. Well, after they were driven through, I remember this is years ago, 6, 7 years ago at least, and my kids were at dance school at the time, and I used to do the puddles outside the dance studio, and the dudes that were bringing their kids and stuff, they would be very taken back by it. Why are you taking pictures and video of puddles? I'd wait for their car to drive through, and it was so cold out that the puddle would immediately freeze again after they drove through it. And sure enough, feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast faces only. Now, back then, I probably was a little less likely, unless I knew them, to start spouting all this shit out of my mouth. So I had other ways to let them see it and look on their own. They were never going to look. They were never gonna fucking look. Nobody ever fucking really looks. Everybody, nope, you're the fucking nut job. That's the way it's gonna be. I don't see it going any other way. You know, I mean, granted, I do get happy and excited inside, but I don't let it go too far because I've already been let down so many times already by people claiming the few people, only a few, but it's many, many times of being let down by the others who won't even look. Then you get the other people that I can trick into seeing it, and I trick them into seeing it, and I know that they've seen it, and they had already admitted to seeing it, but then immediately go into excuses of why it's not what it looks like. It's not what it appears to be. It's my imagination. That used to be a big one. I stay away from those now. I don't even go anywhere near them. They're fucking nuts, man. They're fucking nuts. They're geniuses. They all went to school. They learned how to be good slaves, and and that's what they're gonna do. So anyway, digital collection of electromagnetic nanocarbon from the area we call the trees over there. You can see the builders all around us. You can see the builders. If you look in this video right here, you'll see the builders building these trees as we speak. It's not like the builders are running over there. The builders are all around us building everything in this realm. They don't run over to the trees. There is no zero between us and that tree. There is no zero other than the human imagination. But in the true creator's work, no, there's no zero between us and that tree. We think of that as air, as space, as nothing. We just think of it from where my camera is bouncing right here to where that, big tree is right there, for example, right? And we'll say that that's air, space, nothing's there. And what do you mean? There's nothing there. Yeah, there's plenty fucking there. The builders are all around us, building everything in this realm, including us. So yeah, there's something there. Same builders. They have no choice. I don't think there's any complaints about it. It's just the way it is. The same way, Dean, I'm explaining to you, don't feel any frustration over going and looking at all this. Just continue to look, see it for what it is, and just know that the 7.8 billion zombie slaves are going to remain in their comatose state. You know, if only a few people are going to awaken, then what'll happen is you won't even want your loved ones to awaken really. Because if it's, let's say, like your girlfriend, for example, Dean, her being able to see it, if she admits to seeing it too, then you have no one to keep a foot in the lion ass human system, right? You won't have no one to keep a foot there. So even though she'll be living life by all the lies, and you will have the opportunity to see things for what they are, the reality of things, then you will notice that you'll find yourself empathetic to that, and you'll say, "Ah, yeah, shit, man, I see how hard it is to come to reality and see it for myself. You know, it was much better when it was just this guy Mike that I didn't know whether to believe him or not. I claim to want the answers to life. I claim to want to know the answers to everything." But really, now that I'm starting to get them, I rather go back into my